"It's so nice to all be together for dinner again," I said, as my family all sat around me at the table. My 2 beautiful children and my wife eagerly waiting for me to do the honors as usual. A tear rolled down my trembling cheek as they bared their salivating gums and crooked teeth at me, laid helpless and belly up on the table, about to carve into my own flesh to satisfy their hunger. My friend recently developed a superpower that allows him to transform into any animal. As human faces sprout from every inch of his body, as they scream for water, I realized he can also transform into any animal that is unknown to us, deep in the ocean. The gods who visited me had been worshipped by some long-forgotten culture, and they had an urgent request. The human sacrifices their worshippers had performed to sustain the cosmos were losing their effect, and now I had to revive the tradition. The farm robot happily harvested the food and placed it into the receptacle bin to be processed. "Feeding you efficiently is my purpose," it stated, once again with satisfaction, as it watched the processed food enter the feeding tubes connected to rows and rows of bloated, limbless humans. During dinner, I was shocked to learn that my son had teleportation powers. Shock turned to horror as I watched my unborn son writhe on the dinner table. When I met with death, I frantically begged him not to take me today, and he agreed to come back for me another day. It's been over 800 years since that day. Jane's mother had taught her how to sew quilts when she was young. She later discovered that those skills worked just as well on human skin. March 15, 2085. I kiss my wife and kids goodbye and reassure them I'll be back soon with the supplies we need. The escape pod won't fit us all, and it's better they die hopeful, never knowing the truth. I knocked on my neighbor's door to ask to borrow some sugar. Imagine my surprise as their dog answered and said, "I wish you'd stop knocking when no one's home." My girlfriend wants to visit my hometown. I have to sacrifice 4 people in a ritual to let her enter our reality. The crowd cheered when the magician started pulling rope out of his mouth. The cheers turned to screams when they saw the end of the rope was tied together with the intestines as the magician kept pulling it out. Today, my parents told me I was adopted. As I sit on the chair, tied, my parents also told me that they only did so because my organs are compatible with theirs if they ever need them. As he was making his rounds at night around the school, the security guard saw that a computer was still running in the computer room. As soon as he turned it off, everything ceased to exist. I love playing laser tag with my friends. Watching them scream in agony after their limbs get shot off is the most satisfying part. We watched the ambulances load up the victims from the fire. It wasn't until the real paramedics showed up we realized something went wrong. I held the gun close to my chest as I limped through the forest in search of civilization. There's no way I'd outrun the monster now, and there's only one shot left. I gave my mom a hug and gratefully expressed how thankful I was for the sacrifice she had made on my behalf. I never would have discovered my passion for human taxidermy without her help. Despite what the weather forecast said, a big black cloud covered the entire town. It was right after it opened its eye that we realized it was no cloud. The comedian delivered the best punchline he ever came up with, but there was nothing but silence from the audience. It was then he realized he lost, as the judges prepared to set his family on fire on live television. You really shouldn't have ratted me out. Now I have to torture you, and it'll be a while before anyone finds us. Oh, that song on the radio's your favorite, isn't it? Let me turn it up for you.